Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, where we talk the latest news, rumors, and games of the week of the National Football League, and also from the latest signings to this year's breakout rookie and all of the news in between. As always, I'm Jeremiah.
Joined by Alex. I'm back again. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, to start things off, Tom Coughlin said he wants to get back into coaching.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that, man? Do you think he wants to get back? He's itching to go on the sidelines again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a weird thing for him to readjust to. 47 years of coaching, total. It's probably a little weird for him to just not be coaching anymore,
Yeah, that is like more than half his life. He was coaching for 47 years, 70 years old now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he coached with one team for such a long time.
Yeah.
He had a lot of success. I don't think you can kind of compare it to something else you do in your life. People, like a lot of time coaches don't. And they leave coaching and they can't really do something that compares the same way that I've heard from certain guys that leave the NFL, And, I mean, it is a long time. It just makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
that he'd want to come back.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to come back as a coach. I know he wants to come back as a head coach, but I think the best bet for him to come back on the sidelines is as an assistant because, no,
I think he's a good enough coach, and he has a very good track record that if a team needed a head coach and he was willing to coach, I think he would be a very viable option. I think he's very, very smart when it comes to football. He knows how to win championships. He's done it twice. 3 times if you count when he was on the staff with the Giants in the 90s when they beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. And I think he would have a great shot at being a head coach again. I don't think any guy like that was a head coach for as long as he would accept anything less than being a head coach.
Yeah, but I don't think a GM would take a chance on a guy that old.
I doubt that would just come down to contract stuff. Yeah. He's a very proven coach. And
I agree.
GM, that has no issue to me.
No, he's a good coach. I don't disagree with that. I just don't think GMs will take a chance on a guy like of his age.
I've seen older coaches in the NFL.
Well, yeah, they're not really head coaches now. No, I'm talking about right now.
They've gone younger. But no, I don't think that would be an issue at all. I think if he wanted to come back and it was the right situation for him, I think he would only be coming back to be a head coach. I don't think he'd be anything else. And I think you could absolutely find GMs that would be very happy to get a guy like Tom Coughlin.
His name will surface in January, though. I will tell you that right now. His name will surface around there.
Yeah, he could not even want to end up this could just be whatever. I kind of wanted to come back, and I didn't come back. And because he even said it once, there'll be that when there's coaches, they'll be like, well, maybe Tom Coughlin wants to come back. And there'll be plenty of people who would love to have Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, in an interview with Sports Illustrated, I read it. He said that his motor is starting to run again, and quote, "I've coached 47 years of my life. You take it away, and that's not an easy thing to duplicate." End quote. So it's, yeah, he really misses the game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised,
yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see him coach again if the situation's right. When you are older age, it's not about you anymore. It's about your family and just living with your family. So it totally depends, but I could totally see him coaching again. He's a great coach to have. I've always liked Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, he has like 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. Yeah.
3 technically, if you count the one from the 90s.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always thought he's a very good coach.
The thing that I read from the article is that he's heavily watching his grandchildren play sports, mm-hmm. and he's heavily involved in the J Fund, his charity that he is highly involved in, and also started 28 years ago. It's the charity that Jay McGillis, a Boston College player that I guess he coached, earlier in his career, which I guess he's doing that now, but apparently it's not really good enough for him to
It's not enough.
It's not enough for him. He's not involved enough. Thing. Yeah, it's because I think what got his motor running is that the NFL draft season, all the rookie mini camps, OTAs are starting up for some teams.
Yeah, I think it's just a different thing. He's used to getting ready to prep a whole new team right around this time of year, and it's not happening. So it's going to be different for him,
But I think that's how it is when, like, anybody, any job, when you've done it for so long and you're so used to a routine, it's like, how do you adjust,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to find something that works. But then some guys don't have an issue, Some guys just don't coach and they're good, But I think it's definitely something hard to replicate. So I've heard a lot of guys say after coaching.
Yeah, and I think if his name surfaces up in coaching jobs again, I think he wants to stay on the East Coast.
Yeah, that's where his home is, I would imagine. So I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed over there.
But I don't know if there's an opening around the East Coast right now.
I'd have to look into it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not an opening right now anywhere.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about, like, if you look at the coaches that are on each teams in that area.
I'd have to look into it and see. Yeah, maybe he takes over for Bill Belichick if he finally retires sometime. That's the only thing I can think of, because I can just think of him retiring, not getting fired, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to look into it. Maybe he goes to Florida.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he coaches a team in Florida. That's where everybody goes.
Florida.
Maybe he goes to the Dolphins.
Miami.
Yeah.
Miami's the gig. I wouldn't say that everybody wants to go to, but it looks attractive.
Oh, Miami's attractive to a lot of people, I assume. But moving on to another bit of news, Brandon Boykin, who we've talked about on the show before, signed a 1-year, $840,000 deal in March with the Panthers, was recently released this week.
Yeah.
Not even all the way into OTAs and training camp, he was released. So it really looks like the Panthers are going for the we can win with who we have. And they drafted 4?
I think
five?
three.
They drafted 5 secondary members.
Yeah.
But
3 corners, I think.
Mm-hmm, but so it's looking like they're just trying to go with their in-house guys. So they have a lot of belief in them, I guess. So interested to see. It kind of looks like, kind of trying to start thinking, I don't know Brandon personally, obviously, but you start to think, is it the guy? Is it anything wrong with? Is there anything wrong with him? He seems like a really nice dude. So it's, I don't know. You start to think, is it him, or is it just
the system?
Lack of luck.
Lack of luck. He was a real good player in Philly, which is
he had a good year, 6 interception year.
Yeah, he was a real good player, and then had 3 solid seasons there. But he just couldn't find success in Pittsburgh. He only started 1 game.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of playing time, and in the first game he actually started, he got an interception in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen good things from him, but he's more of a slot guy, and they use him in certain ways that it's not going to work.
Yeah, he wanted to play on the outside in Philly,
and he could do it.
I think that kind of influenced Chip Kelly when he was at Philly, when he was a coach there. And that kind of influenced Chip to trade him to Pittsburgh because he did have control of the players back then.
Well,
I think that kind of played a part.
Did.
Yeah,
but he got traded, and he had a good year with the Steelers. It was a lot of, like you said, he only started 1 game, but he had decent stats. He had interception.
Yeah, he had a pretty good year.
He played real well on special teams. So it really depends on. He'll find somewhere. There's a lot of teams that need corners. He'll find somewhere to go. A team that needs more facilitators, Cardinals team, a Ravens team, Jaguars, Redskins.
I would love to see him with the Jaguars. I think that would be a good fit.
They're just growing in defense.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad way to go. But I'm interested to see where he lands.
To me, it was a surprising move because the Panthers lacking depth in that position,
they don't lack depth.
Well, they're not lacking depth, but
starters.
I wouldn't say, not lacking depth, but they need help at that position because they have no names at that spot now.
Yeah. Well, they have their guys from last year, but they don't have a lot of proven players, and that's going to be something down the stretch that's going to be interesting to watch. Is are these rookies going to be able to adapt to the NFL quick enough to really be able to contribute to them year one? Because they, regardless of what they might have thought of Boykin, he was a proven guy. At least he had some games under his belt. But we're gonna take a quick break. Word from our sponsors here, and we'll be back right with you guys with the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. Welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast as we get back into our discussion here on Brandon Boykin, who was released by the Panthers after, I think, 2-3 months.
It's 2 months.
Since his signing in March.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about some places we think he might land. Excuse me. And now his stance in the top free agents now that he is himself a free agent. So what are some other notable free agents that are left out there right now?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, Anquan
yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
And Brandon Boykin, as we obviously stated. Leon Hall, Walter Thurman, Dwight Freeney.
Mm-hmm.
He's still out there.
I'm not surprised. Dwight Freeney was out there until
Arian Foster.
September, I think. Arian Foster, yes.
That's not surprising considering that he's
coming off another Achilles tear.
But Brandon Boykin, though, I don't see him being a free agent that long.
No,
he's only 25 years old.
Yeah, he's my number 2 free agent after Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
I would say rank-wise. I would say it's him, Fitzpatrick, and Boykin, and then Bolden, and then Foster, I would say, and Freeney. Just because Freeney, he'll get signed somewhere, probably again with the Cardinals, I would say. Boykin, I wouldn't be surprised if he signs with somebody by the end of this week.
Yeah. Definitely.
You want to get him in. You want to get him into the system.
What team do you see him going to, Brandon Boykin?
Man, I could see him going to the Patriots. I could see him going to a team like the Jaguars, like we were saying. I could see him going to the Dolphins, who lack some corner depth right now. I could see him going to the Ravens. I could see him going to a lot of teams, to be honest.
I could see him going to a team in the NFC West. There's a lot of teams there that...
I could see him going to the Cardinals.
Yeah, a lot of teams there that are defense heavy, A lot of good quarterbacks in that division too.
Carson Palmer and there's
Russell Wilson.
And there's Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So 2 good quarterbacks.
Yeah. That's half the conference, man. Okay.
That's true. But that's 2 as opposed to
you play those
like
guys twice.
4 good quarterbacks.
Yeah, you play those guys twice. You
gotta have somebody that can stop them. Yeah, the Rams I could see going and getting them maybe. But I don't know. Maybe even the Eagles now that Chip Kelly's gone.
Yeah, maybe.
He's not going to the Niners, I'll tell you that right now. But, yeah, no. I mean, I could see him being signed by the end of this week, definitely. What about you? What are some teams you could see?
Like I said, NFC West, Cardinals, Rams, possibly.
He doesn't fit the Seahawks at all.
Yeah, not the Seahawks.
Guys.
Not the
they
Seahawks,
like tall, guys.
He's a slot guy anyway.
Well, he's built like a slot guy.
Yeah.
He's been able to play the outside before.
Like you said, I don't see the Niners taking him as well.
Chip Kelly's there. The Niners won't.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he definitely won't go there. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see him back in Philly. Me personally, I would love to see him in a Jaguars uniform. They had their defense on the up and up right now.
I can see that. Maybe the Chargers. They have some problems in the secondary. They could address with that.
I think the Raiders could possibly.
The Raiders could go for that. They have some corner problems. The Colts, anybody in the AFC South there, Houston. Those teams make sense. I didn't think about the Raiders.
Maybe teams in the AFC North.
I was saying the Bengals could look at him. The Ravens could definitely look at him. The Browns could use the help. I don't think he comes back to Pittsburgh unless there's some more understanding on how they want to do it with him on the football field, Other than that, I don't see him coming back, which is it's okay. They drafted some good guys to hopefully come in and fill in, so I think they probably would be in a good spot. But the Ravens, I could see doing that. The Browns, I could see doing that. The Raiders, I would say I could definitely see doing that. And a team like the Cardinals who just like to keep, just loading up on guys that can help their football team. I think that wouldn't be surprising at all.
Well, something I want to point out, it would be his 4th team within a year.
4th within a year? Because he got traded from the Eagles to the Steelers, but that was at the end of last year. So technically it's now 16. But it's like his 4th team in 2 years, whatever they said.
Yeah. Within that same time span, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's unfortunate, I don't think it's anything to do with him. Hopefully it's nothing to do with him. But that is an unfortunate occurrence for sure. I like the guy. I hope he lands somewhere good and somewhere he can flourish, play well, not just play a supporting line. Like I said, he played well in the time he had in Pittsburgh this year, and I thought he played really well with the Eagles that year before.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll be out of work long. I really don't.
No, he won't not be out of work long again. When he was in Philadelphia, he was the second among slot receivers in passing rating allowed at 63.5. The first was Chris Harris in Denver. Yeah. So that's from 2012 to 2014. He was one of the top slot corners. And in the pass-heavy league, you need that slot guy.
Yeah, you need. It's almost you need two good corners now because you need one that can play the outside and then one that can play the slot, and have a serviceable guy on the outside kind of thing. If in a unlikely world, in a Madden ruled world, you could have three good corners. Like the
pass-heavy league. Yeah.
Chris Harris and Aqib Talib on the outside, and have a guy like Bradley Roby on a slot receiver. In a perfect world, you have three good corners, but unlikely, I would say.
Actually, I messed up in my stat. He actually allowed 67.1 passer rating. Chris Harris has 63.5, but that's still pretty good.
Yeah, 67 is still pretty good. That's, I think, just under average.
And then he also had the most targets at 139 and allowed 85 receptions.
Was that the year he had 6 interceptions?
Well, I'm going from 2012 to 2014 throughout the whole.
Well, yeah, he had 6 interceptions. I think his second to last year.
And then
last
he
year with the Eagles.
Caught 7 interceptions. 6 of them came in 1 year.
Yeah,
but still, that's still pretty good in those 3 years.
Yeah, I think in the right system he could play some really good football, and hopefully he gets to do that. I don't think the Steelers had a right system for him. I might come to think that maybe the Panthers didn't have the right system for him, maybe, if we look at it that way. So I really hope he gets to go somewhere where he gets to play because he seems like a good dude. He could have turned the situation in Pittsburgh bad last year. They traded for him and they just never played him and all this stuff. He could have been really, a diva about it. He could have been upset about it, but he played it the right way and he was professional about it. It seemed like the entire year as opposed to like the year before with Larry Garrett Blount, who came there, and Le'Veon Bell took over, kind of as that guy on that Monday night in Tennessee, ran like 200 yards, and like Garrett Blount walked off the field, So he portrayed himself as a professional, and that's just going to get you places in the NFL, So I definitely think that hopefully he fits a scheme somewhere and he gets a job because he seems like he deserves it.
Yep. I don't, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if he signed by the team at the end of this week. There's going to be a team out there, possibly a few seasons. I actually haven't heard any other team that are interested in him, but he's going to generate some interest.
Yeah, usually with stuff like that, you don't hear about teams interested. You'll just kind of hear the guesses and stuff. Give me 2 teams, one that you would want. Yeah, well, I'd say one that you would see and one you would like to see.
Well, one that I'd like to see is Jacksonville. I said that earlier.
Now, who's one that you think would be like the most likely team to sign him? And if it's the same, make it the same. It's okay. If you really think Jacksonville's going to do it,
I don't know if Jacksonville's going to do it. I'm thinking of like teams with a lot of cap space left. I
think Jacksonville.
Yeah. It's a good play. It's good. I think it's a good fit, but I don't know if they'll take a chance on him. I don't know. I think Philly.
Going back to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Maybe Oakland. They're always trying to get better at defense.
And really, the only question they have is at corner.
Yes.
They have a good corner, and then they have some guys that really haven't stepped up.
They have Reggie Nelson there.
Reggie Nelson in their first round pick.
Carl Joseph. Yeah, so they don't need. Yeah, I think that's a good fit. Also, I don't know how much they have in cap space right now to sign him, but he's not. But he's not going to cost a lot of money. I don't think he's going to cost a lot of money.
No, I mean clearly you saw he signed a 1-year, not even $1 million deal.
Yeah.
So. But we'll take one more visit from our sponsors here, and we'll get back to you with some news on the Falcons' new stadium. We'll be right back with the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. And welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. Thank you for sticking with us.
And other news coming out over the past week, the Atlanta Falcons announced that it will offer the lowest concession prices at a stadium in the major sports team level.
Yeah, I think it's 2017 that the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Mercedes-Benz Dome.
So the upcoming stadium.
Is the upcoming
upcoming season? So is it 16-17?
It's 2017.
Oh, so it doesn't open until next year?
No, it don't open until next year. It's the last year. It's the last year they're going to be in the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, and is this the year the Vikings Stadium opens, or is that next year also?
I think it's next year too. I'm not actually quite sure.
I think it might be this year because I think it was. They had the stadium in Madden, so I think it might be this year.
Oh, you're right. It is this year. Yes, I'm so confused. So many teams are getting new stadiums, man.
It's just those.
Oh my gosh,
it's just those two now, and then 3 with the Rams eventually.
Oh yeah, eventually the Rams. I don't know. I think you should just stay at the Coliseum, but either that.
Yeah, it's not built for football anymore. Yeah. But let's move on to some real stadiums. What kind of prices are they offering? Because I see some interesting ones. Tell me what I have: $2 hot dogs, $2 sodas with unlimited refills. That's crazy.
That's the big one right there.
If I drank soda as much as I used to, I'm trying to slow down on it, but. If I drank soda as much as I used to, man, with unlimited refills, as opposed to I remember I went to the Cal game this year, Cal Washington State, big Washington State fan, and I go and I got one of those collectible cups, like the big kind of fat but not super tall cups, I got one of those, and I was like, I want another soda. Can you just fill this up for me? They're like, no, you got to buy a whole new cup. What? So I ended up with 2 cups just because I wanted another soda. I'm like, come on, man.
I know. Come on. I remember I went to a. Sacramento Kings game. Yeah. In Sleep Train.
I always get those cups.
I got a souvenir cup.
I have
like $11.
17 of those cups.
$11. I was like, really? Come on! But it was a sick cup. So
yeah, I have 17 of those.
I only have one. But anyways,
I'm losing space in my cabinet.
Anyways, like you said, the soda with the free unlimited refills. That is crazy. I was like, this can't be real.
Like $3 nachos.
Yeah, they got. And they have a bottle of water for $2. Really, $2?
Hey man, water should be cheaper than soda.
Exactly. I think it could be. Yeah, it should. And then they got popcorn and pretzels for $2 also. A slice of pizza, peanuts, and fries will be $3 each. Pizza, that's crazy.
Pizza for $3?
Yes.
And it's like a slice of pizza too, not like and it's not DiGiorno
that's what
either.
I said. No, but it's a slice of pizza.
That's crazy, man. Like I wish I was a Falcons fan in just for food, or I wish being a Kings fan. I hope the Kings' new arena, the Golden One Center. No, I've done tours of it, sort of. Yeah, I've done tours and stuff of it, of what you can't go inside obviously, but they have a building across the street, and I pray that's how it is.
No,
I'm going to be paying. So it's going to be like $7.
I hate to brush your bubble, man, but no.
I mean, remembering Kings games from last year, probably I paid.
The first game is probably going to be like, I don't know, $200, $400.
Oh, to get seats?
To get seats, a lot.
If you don't, I tried. If you don't have season tickets, you more than likely won't be able to go.
Yeah. And they also have Paul McCartney opening up too. But moving on.
It's getting crazy.
Yeah, moving on. And I think this is the big one right here. A 12-ounce cup of Bud Light for $5.
$5 crazy.
That's the big one. $5, that's crazy at a sporting event.
Yeah. Like that, a 12-ounce beer at any sporting event, you're looking at like $12.
12? It's because that's domestic beer too.
That's not even the good stuff.
That's not even imported. Domestic.
If you want like a Dos Equis, you're paying $15.
Oh yeah, exactly.
If you're looking at Modelo, you're looking at least $13.
Man. But dude, $5 for 12 ounce, that's crazy. That's gonna, man, you're gonna have some long lines are about to be long, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If only this gets adopted by everyone, because it seems like an idea that would catch. It seems like something that would make money. Less expensive food items would mean that people aren't as likely to say no and I'll eat before. They'll get more food in the arena.
That's what I usually do when I go to a sporting event. I eat before.
Exactly. What are you gonna do if you're a dad that has his wife and his 2 kids, and he's the dad, so he's like, okay, I'll get the food, and he goes and pays for it. And you're at a regular arena where you're getting maybe 3 hot dogs. That's almost, you're looking at like $15 right there. Any drinks, you're paying like upwards of $20-something that you might as well go out to eat before.
Exactly.
Or as opposed to here, say you're getting yourself 4 hot dogs, that's $8, and 4 sodas. That's $16. 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, refillable sodas.
Yeah, and then I think that was the goal from the officials that set these prices. Is they wanted to feed a family of 4 for like under 27.
Yeah, Arthur Blank he's a smart guy. Their owner. He's a very smart guy. He's a very smart businessman, and I hope that this hopefully catches on, because this would be an awesome thing for a lot of fans who are weary sometimes of having to do that. Pay for food at a game. It's not cheap.
Hey, going back to the beer price, I just can't get over that, man. Because I remember a couple years ago, I went to a Sac State baseball game at Rayleigh Field. Mm-hmm. I think they're playing Fresno State, and I bought a beer. It was the Mexican beer. I think it was Coors Light, and it was like $10 at a college baseball game.
And it was small, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't even. I don't even think it was 12 ounces. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I'm not much of a beer drinker. I don't really like the taste of beer, but my brother works for the River Cats, and he's telling me how they kind of changed around it this year, where they have the beer garden kind of back by the lawn now, where that kids area was, and you can't leave that area. It gets made for the drinking and everything, but their prices haven't really gone down. So you're still looking at the lowest being $7 for like one beer. Like that's the lowest. Like it only goes up from there. And then they have that weird like walk-in cooler kind of like those Costco's or Wincos have, where they hold the beer. Like the walk-in freezers. They have like one of those, and it almost looks like a trailer sort of. And you walk into it, and it's a cooler, so you can get the beer from there in their bottles. But those are like at least $12.
Yeah.
That is insane.
That's like a 6-pack right there, man.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can get a 6-pack of maybe bad beer for like $12.
Exactly. But I also want to point out the prices will also be the same at concerts and other events.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same as just the stadium, not just for football games, but for the stadium.
Yeah, and it's
that's
also
crazy.
Including the 2018 college football playoff title game.
Oh man, that's gonna be
2020 Final Four. Oh,
that's
my
gonna
God.
be huge for the college students with the lack of money.
Are you kidding me? $5 for beer. Oh my God,
that's gonna be huge.
I think they're gonna run out, man.
That's gonna be huge for the ballers on the budget.
Honestly, I think the beer. I think that was something that I think they're more about volume than actual like I don't think they're worried about running out. I think they wanted to make money on volume.
Yeah, I mean they're prepared
for all the prices. They're preparing for the volume of sales they're going to make, so they're going to make that money back.
Yeah, they know. Yeah. I think over the last few years, I wouldn't be surprised if some places lost money on the lack of sales of food.
So yeah, man, I like this. Families are actually going to be fed at a sporting event, and because the food and beverage really brings a family experience in any sporting event you go to.
Yeah, like I like to eat and watch sports.
Football, baseball, basketball. It brings the whole fan experience. I think it really completes, and I think that was something that they were trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, I think it's really a smart move, and I hope it catches on. I hope people see it as a way to go from now on, because I would be psyched if Giants games, Kings games, any of those places had that kind of those pricing. Places that I'm going to go as a fan, I would be 100% psyched. I would buy food so much more often.
Man, I don't know. I kind of want to move to Georgia just so I can.
Oh no, I'm not going to move to Georgia.
Well, I want to move to Georgia, but I kind of wanted to visit Georgia, just so
go to a Falcons game.
Just go to the Falcons game.
Pay a couple $100 to fly over there just to pay $2 for a soda.
Yeah, or no, actually go to a game and then actually get the fan experience.
Mm-hmm. The Falcons are an interesting team to watch.
Yeah, so.
But we'll talk about that more if we get any more information on it as we get closer to the NFL season. But we'd like to thank you guys again for listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. You can visit us on iTunes for new episodes each week, and you can find us at Golden State Media or GSMCpodcast.com, as well as on Twitter at GSMC_football, and on Facebook at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. As always, I'm Alex.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And we'll see you guys next time.